Ladies and gentle beans, welcome to Fall Guys. So, a quick overview before we get started here. Fall Guys is a party game battle royale where a bunch of little jelly bean people compete to win a collection of events. You start with up to 60 people and whittle it down to the one true bean! The game is set up as a multi-round game show and there are up to 6 rounds per episode. After you get eliminated or win, you're given rewards in the form of kudos, which is the in-game currency. You also get crowns if you're the winner, which is another currency, and fame, which is the XP points. As you get fame, you reach new levels in the season. This is what we're focusing on today. How long does it take to reach max level in a season? And as a bonus, how many matches per day do you need to play to reach the max level? Now look, I'm a busy guy, I'm sure you're busy too, so let's get right into the math. To figure out how quick we can get to the max level and how many matches we need per day, we need to know 4 things. The total fame required for max level, how long a season lasts, how long an episode takes, and how much fame you get on average from completing an episode, either winning or more than likely getting eliminated. Also, future-proof disclaimer here, this is all for Season 1. We don't know if the following seasons will have different max levels, requirements, longer rounds, etc, etc. Anyways, the first 2 variables are easy and definitive. We know from people getting to the max level already, which is 40, that the total fame required is 35,000. We also know how long Season 1 lasts, 60 days. That's from the game's launch date, so by the time this video comes out, you'll have about 30 days. We're gonna stick with 60 for illustrative purposes here though. The next factor is really up to the servers, as in how long it takes to find a match, fill it, and pick the events. Also, the type of the events can have an effect on the length of the match. There are 6 event types: race, team, survive, logic, hunt, and the final. Depending on the type, an event can have set time limits or not, and allowance for overtime or not. In my experience, the matches take on average 40 seconds to find and fill. The events take on average 2.5 minutes from the time the server begins picking the event to the end of the results screen, and the finals take about 1.5 minutes from the time the server begins picking to the end of the show summary screen. How many rounds you get can depend on the server or quality of players. The finals typically round 5, sometimes 6, although I have heard of people getting slime climb on round 2 and having all but one player get eliminated. That's not to mention, you may get eliminated early in any of the rounds, in which case, you can exit out immediately and requeue. I'm gonna assume the average player makes it to round 4 and gets eliminated. So we'll go with 4 rounds for our first example. And finally, we need the most player-dependent piece, how much fame you get on average from an episode. The Fall Guys developers have said they intentionally tried to make the game 50% luck and 50% skill. Sometimes a loss is just out of your control. One match you'll get a crown, then the next match you get eliminated in round 1 because your bean forgot his walking stick at home. Like, watch this stupid stuff right here. So I'm off to a great start, I get hit again. Look, I'm getting so lucky. I get flunked so far ahead, and then I get up, and my guy just trips again. Why? Why does he get tripped again right there? Why did I deserve to fall? God, I get a headache just looking at that clip. Alright, let's get back to it. Your average fame is further complicated by the fact that each type of event has different reward amounts, sometimes depending on your finish place. Finishing first in races gives you the most at 63 points, while logic and survival events give you 28 points just for finishing at all. Winning the final event gets you a whopping 203 points to go along with your shiny new crown. On top of this, there's also an amount of fame awarded to you just for making it to a round. Call it a qualifying bonus. Round 1 and 5 automatically gives you 15 points, round 2 gives you 0, round 3 and 4 give you 10. So, what's the average player likely to make from an episode? It's hard to say without knowing exactly how skilled the average player is. Personally, I usually get about 80 to 200 points, and I think that's slightly better than the average player, so I'll call it 100 for the first example. So we end up with 35,000 divided by 100 for 350 total matches needed. Divide that by 60 days to get a little over 6 matches per day. And for the total time needed, 35,000 divided by 100 again, and multiply that by 10 minutes and 40 seconds to get a little over 62 hours and 13 minutes. Now for fun, let's run the math for the worst player possible, never qualifying from a single event, which according to the achievement stats, there's not an insignificant percentage of the player base that are like this. Now the percentage shown also includes people who've bought the game but haven't played it yet, of course, so we can't completely trust this number. But since Fall Guys has sold over 7 million copies on Steam alone as of the end of August, even 0.1% is over 1,000 players. Back to the numbers, they'd get 15 points just for showing up, and then for our average time to find and play the match, it would be 40 seconds to find the match, plus 2.5 minutes to play the first event to the end screen. So that's a total of 3 minutes and 10 seconds. So let's plug those in. First for our matches per day. That's 35,000 divided by 15 for over 2,333 matches needed? Okay, divided by 60 we get nearly 39 matches per day. Well then. Well, the total time for that would be, let's see, 35,000 divided by 15 times 3 minutes 10 seconds, nearly 123 hours and 8 minutes. Huh, not as impossible as I expected, but it's still 2 hours per day if you want to reach max level by the end of the season. Could you imagine playing a game you suck at for 2 hours per day? I don't think so. On the flip side of the coin, let's calculate for the most lucky and skilled player possible, which is also known as hackers. Well, a hypothetical hacker with some way of manipulating the server's event chooser to get 4 races in a row plus the final, or you just get lucky. It can happen randomly to you, actually. It happened to me in this match, where I was eliminated in the worst event possible, which is the tiptoe. Everybody complains about the team events, but really tiptoe's the one that needs to get trashed. Please delete, please delete it. Anyways, personal grudges aside, moving on. Like I said before, finishing in first place in races gives you the most points at 63. So the breakdown of points per round looks like this. And that gives us the grand total of 505 points. The total time for a match of 5 rounds would be about 12 minutes and 10 seconds. Now we do the math and get a little over 1 match per day and about 14 hours and 3 minutes. And there you have it. I hope the video has been helpful to someone out there. I've included some guides in the description for additional reading if you're curious about how you earn fame and the requirements for the other levels. Shout out to those guides for helping to lay out the numbers I needed. Anyways, get back out there, and I'll see you on the Bean Bus. Bean Bus? Battle Bean? It's Fortnite reference. I tried.